presidential hopeful Pete Buttigieg. Pete Buttigieg. Pete Buttigieg. Presidential hopeful Mayor Pete just said something outrageous. I think it might cost him the election. Let's find out what it is. I'm Michael. This is the Loftus Party. You are you, and you are awesome. Give yourself a hug. Here's what happened. Mayor Pete just went on the record as saying, and I got my facts here, I don't want to get it wrong. He said, and I quote, "Incarceration should not even be a response to drug possession." Hold on. I'm going to repeat it to make sure you heard it right. Incarceration should not even be a response to drug possession. Now, he said this to the Des Moines Register, right? He was talking to a reporter, an editor, somebody, and they were like you and me. They're like, that's crazy talk. So they had to clarify. The editor pressed him and like dug down and was like, is that like across the board? So if it's like meth or coke or ecstasy, any drugs, if it's possession, incarceration isn't, and Mayor Pete was like, that's right. Any drugs. If you have possession of any drugs, Mayor Pete doesn't want you to go to jail. Now, I'm a pretty reasonable guy, and I can see weed, right? People use that for cancer treatments, glaucoma, on. And you never hear about like violent weed crimes. You really don't. You never hear about some guy robbing banks. I'm so high, let's rob a bank. No, it's always like, I'm so high, let's watch Netflix and order food delivered. That's the level of crime. And it's not even a crime as long as you can pay for it. But like, if someone's walking around with heroin or crystal meth, I don't think they're planning fun things for the future. There's no goodness at the end of that equation. You take a person and crystal meth, 1 + 1 equals someone's getting hurt. Maybe not today, maybe not tomorrow, but soon. It's not good. And drug overdoses are no joke. This last year, 69,000 people died of drug overdoses. Now, a handful of people have died from like vaping. And they've already passed a law and they're going to get on it. We got to do something now. 69,000 people have died from drug overdoses. And Mayor Pete's like, I say we let people go who have Are you crazy? Mayor Pete, are you on drugs now? Were you on drugs when you gave this interview? Nothing good happens from crystal meth. Have you ever known anybody with a drug problem? Sometimes they need to go to jail. Because before they go to jail, if rehab doesn't work out, they're just going to take apart TVs and try to put them back together and work the remote control and figure out what's going on. It's not pretty. There's no pot of gold at the end of the crystal meth rainbow. Sometimes you got to go to jail. Sometimes that's the best thing. And you need to think about your life. That's why it's called a penitentiary. I don't know if you knew that. I just found this out. Penitentiary, the root word, penitence. You're thinking about your life. You're thinking about the choices that you made and decisions, and hopefully you're not continuing to do drugs. And sometimes it straightens people out. Yeah. Sometimes if somebody doesn't do well in rehab, they go to jail and they go in, ding, as somebody with a drug problem. And when they come out after thinking about their lives and decided they want to make a change, bing, you get Iron Man. And we all love Iron Man. It's great. It's a success story. It's different from everybody. But if this guy doesn't go to jail for having drugs and doing bad stuff, we don't get Iron Man. So Mayor Pete, before you decide to make possession of all drugs okie dokie in the eyes of the law, you might want to rethink your stance.